Alright, we are back. Hopefully we don't have the same tech issues as last time. Let's get this show on the road. Tried tweaking my video settings a little. Hopefully that will help. Hope you are all doing well. Let's get on into this game here. Looking forward to what specialists we get. Alright, we get Supply with Mustang Crawler. Gonna take that. I love Supply. Opponent has Crawler Sledge, so I do probably want to split my crawlers. Obviously, Mustang Crawler against Crawler Sledge is not a great matchup for us, but we're going to do what we can. We should at least clear through their crawlers with our Mustangs, and then we need something to kill sledges, so that can be Marksman, for example. I could just go for Arclights to help clear the crawlers faster. I think we'll go for Marksman. Try to win the fights here. I think we should have enough speed clearing their crawlers that our Marksmen should be able to tank on their sledges. Alright, opponent's gone for a wide flank. They are Elite Specialists and have gone for a level 2 Arclight. The level 2 Arclight's definitely going to be a problem. We do at least get one sledge knocked down by our Marksman. Clearing the crawlers fairly quickly, but not as quickly as I would like, because their Arclight is just mushed all our crawlers, so we didn't stall them out at all. We will take out this building, but I don't think we're going to have the damage to finish all their stuff off. Yeah, especially because they got 3 shots off with that Arclight. Alright, so we definitely are going to need something to deal with their sledges and their Arclight. That could be steel balls, it could be phoenixes. Heavy Mustangs, I think, is definitely helpful for us, just increasing our damage. So I'm just going to grab that, or increasing our health. And then, to deal with what my opponent has, I think we're going to go with phoenixes. We get a fairly neat buy of 2 phoenixes. I'm going to place them both over here, I think, so that they aggro onto my opponent's stuff, and then we get to upgrade this Marksman. I might have wanted to place my Phoenixes 1 tile further back, just to make certain they weren't getting too close to my opponent's stuff. They have a lot of Arclights, but no way to shoot up currently. They do have anti-air ammo on their Arclights, so if they go for just mass, like Arclight carry, then our Phoenixes will not be enough. What is kind of nice is that even though they don't currently have a way to shoot up, we're almost winning the fight on the ground anyways. So it's not just that we have Phoenixes and they have no way to shoot up that's helping us win this game. Here, I'm going to grab... Wasp Swarm is also kind of interesting because I think they're pretty likely to go for Marksman, although Amplifying Core is one of my favorite upgrades. I think because they're so likely to go for... No, they're pretty likely to just upgrade AA on their Arclights, I think. So I'm going to go for Amplifying Core. And I might just stick it on my Marksman, like this one. I could go for range on my Marksman as well. I think we're going to get 2 Marksmen. Try to fight their Arclights with Marksman. Put the range upgrade on our Marksman. And then give Amplifying Core to this Marksman. Then I'm going to place this missile a little further back so it maybe knocks down some crawlers. Yeah, my opponent has indeed gone for anti-air on their arc lights, as we predicted. But now I just have so many marksmen that we're going to knock down the arc lights before they even get into the fight. This missile did not do very much. They've also gone for a backline wasp swarm, but that shouldn't be too good against all of our Mustangs. Now they've used a cooldown and still lost the fight. They'll probably go for heavy arc light, which could be a real problem for us, but I'm going to go for an attack spec, upgrade my marksman. I know my opponent needs to just get more chaff, probably, to handle my marksman. So I could get shooting squad to help clear chaff and tank shots. I could also just get more marksmen. I think I'm just going to go with the just always more marksmen plan to make a nice line of them. And then upgrade these Mustangs. And then for 200, I could get Impact Drill or Replicate, even Mechanical Rage, but Mechanical Rage is going to be... basically any upgrade on my crawlers is going to be bad against their arc lights. So shields on my Phoenixes would be pretty nice against their arc light fire. I might do that. Another option is just some shields of my own in case they go for missiles, and I think we're going to go with that play. Help defend my units a little bit. My opponent, I think, is very likely to just go for some sort of chaff, although in the end they went for storms. Storms are okay against mass marksmen like this, but because we have all these crawlers, I think the storms are actually not going to land shots on the marksmen very easily. And my range-upgraded marksmen will get to target their storms a little earlier than they would otherwise, and of course we still have all these Phoenixes, which they need anti-air to defeat. Case module, tank production line, both pretty tempting here. Tank production line could be really good depending on what kind of giant unit we want. I could go Overlords, although they do have the AA shot with their arc lights, so I don't think that's going to be terribly valuable. Let's go with marksman upgrades. Oh, okay, we've got the same disconnect issue. Alright, well, may not be able to stream tonight because of the disconnect issues. It's so irritating that this happens because the stream is working fine, so it's not on my end. And it always is just for like 1 minute before... Oh, whoops, I didn't select... Okay, that was my fault this time. I didn't pick a card. It wasn't a disconnect. Alright, so what we can get, I think, is just more Phoenixes, probably. Or more crawlers to tank their chaff. Let's get 2 more Phoenix units. Oh, meant to move that. Alright. Well, that one was my fault. I thought we were disconnected because we've been disconnected a few times before. My opponent has gone for a bunch of chaff to tank my marksman, which makes perfect sense, so we'll probably get storms of our own, I think, next round. The storms will help clear these fangs and stuff quickly, and also can land shots on their sledges. Right now, they still don't have a great way to deal with my Phoenixes. No, never mind. Their arc lights are destroying them. We did actually clear all their chaff, though. They did knock down all our shields, but given that I baited myself into not doing anything for the first half of that round, Underground threat could be good here. Deployment module, electromagnetic. I kind of like electromagnetic. That's going to knock down 2 of these arc lights, stop them from shooting my air units. Upgrading these marksmen some more, of course. Then my opponent's chaff, do we want to deal with that with a Vulcan or with Stormcallers? I think we probably want a Vulcan. Because if I place 2 Vulcans here, that will knock down all my opponent's stuff really quickly. So let's get a Vulcan to deal with chaff on this side and one on this side. And then I am still going to go with some shields. Actually place the Vulcan just a little further back and give it the haste module. Then on this side I'll get a missile to clear their chaff. Nice, they went a missile into our shields. We have chaff clearing for all this stuff, which should help with our marksmen hitting important units. They will kill this left-hand Vulcan very quickly with all their Stormcaller stuff, and they do have flanking crawlers on this side. See if we can knock down all their anti-air. So I'll need something to clear those crawlers, because the crawlers are going to destroy my whole squad, of course. Right now they've got just a couple arc lights as anti-air. And I think we have enough Phoenixes to get through all that. No, the 2 arc lights on the left are going to win the round for them. Alright, so I could go with elite crawlers and have my crawlers fight their crawlers. I could go with a barrier for my Vulcan. I think that's going to be really good. Let's do that. We'll put a barrier on this Vulcan. Oh, that wasn't a flanking crawler, that was underground threat. Let's upgrade these crawlers anyways. Then in the front lines, I need something that can deal with these storms. So let's start with Missile Interceptor on my Mustangs. That will help my units not die to all the storms. I can then get just 2 more units of Mustangs. Place them kind of like so. Then they can knock down the Stormcaller shots. On this side, I want something that can deal with the opponent's sledges and arc lights. So that could be a melting point, or it could be steel balls. Could just be more marksmen. I think we're going to go with mass recruitment by yet another marksman. I don't have enough money to upgrade shooting squad or elite marksman, although either of those I think would be quite good. But instead of that, let's just go with some shields. So I'll put a shield here, here, and here. I don't need a 3rd shield. That would be overkill. I will go for a missile over on this side, though. Opponent's gone for shields, makes total sense, and they have gone for a wasp swarm on the side. My Mustangs are unfortunately in the wrong spot, and they also went for a level 5 crawler. So we're going to lose this round because of the flank. At least my Vulcans are clearing through all their chaff on the front lines. But their flanking crawlers are just going to destroy all my stuff. That's okay, we can backline a Vulcan next round. We might still have enough to get through this. Depends on how quickly we can kill those crawlers. Looks like not quickly. They also went for underground movement on their crawlers. I don't think that was particularly a good investment against my Vulcans. Alright. They managed to knock down the last shield before that went off as well. That was their wasp swarm, though, so now that's on cooldown. I could get a nuke. I could get... I don't think the game is going to go long enough for top supply to be good, so I'm going to get this orbital bombardment, place it there. I am going to get another Vulcan and place it on the side here. where it can clear these crawlers. They might sell, but that's okay. They've also got crawlers on this side, although those we were defeating. But just to be safe, I'm going to get yet another Vulcan on this side. Then, in the front lines, do I want to upgrade my Vulcans? I could also place more marksmen. It's definitely upgraded the marksmen, and I think I will upgrade the Vulcans. I could just get Vulcan attack as well. Then they'll be very good against the opponent's sledges. Yeah, let's get Vulcan attack. I think Vulcan attack is a really powerful upgrade. And I'll also upgrade these crawlers. Even though they're not very good, they will tank a little bit longer against sledges that way. And then, do I want to get shields? I probably should just get a couple shields with a loan here. Just to make sure we're not losing everything to missiles. Right, my opponent has upgraded those crawlers, but we have a Vulcan on that side. Still knocking down all of their missiles as they come in. And with the Vulcan attack upgrades, we clear through their stuff very quickly. The nuke does knock out my whole right-hand flank. But I think we're still going to win this one. Alright, feeling good. Went into this one a little bit on tilt because of all the disconnects last round, but... or last stream. But there we go, we got a win. Alright, so over here we've got Supply with Arclight Phoenix, Quick Supply with Fang Phoenix. I like Arclight Phoenix, and I think Supply Specialist is the second or third best specialist. My opponent has Crawler Storms, so they're going to need something that deals with my Phoenixes, probably Marksman. Marksman is sort of the natural play here. Given that, I should probably just get Crawlers to try to tank those. Stick my Phoenixes a little further back as well. Then, what I might want to do is get something that I could just get a missile, just to clear through their crawlers and try to win round 1. They're elite specialists, so they'll get a level 2 marksman if they go for a marksman. I think we'll save, and then next round I can get an upgrade. I think I did place my Phoenixes a little too far forward, though. Alright, yeah, my opponent has indeed gone for the level 2 marksman. Makes perfect sense. Their storms clear through all of my crawlers and arclights very quickly. Question is, can we, on this right-hand flank, take out their stuff before their marksman kills everything? We do have this one crawler. The answer is no, but we do have this one crawler that's sort of going for it. Oh, killed the building. Are we aggroed to the right thing? We are. Oh, okay, we actually get that win. The crawler hitting the building twice was what got us the win there. Then we have to come back and deal with my opponent's one plucky crawler that's doing its level best. Kind of nice that we got a couple levels already. So here I could pick up Mustangs and go for anti-missile. I could go with charged ammo, repair kit. Actually not certain what we want out of any of these. I think this might be a skip, but my opponent could potentially use charged ammo or heavy armor on one of these. Mustangs would help clear my opponent's crawlers, but obviously, until I get the anti-missile upgrade, they're pretty bad against storms. I think the play here is going to be to skip. Make sure we get both of these upgrades. Then I could flank with crawlers. That might distract my opponent's storms and also give us some options against their marksmen. If I were to go for replicate on my crawlers, then the crawler flank could be really good. I don't hate that idea. I could also just go for marksmen of my own or stormcallers of my own. I think I like the replicating crawlers and flanking with them. It uses my money pretty efficiently. Let me place these. The stormcallers are not aggroed to them, but the opponent's crawlers are, which is exactly what we want, because then my crawlers will eat their crawlers and make some more. My opponent's just gone for more marksmen. Totally fine by me. Now that my crawlers come in, I think we should win this round for free, because we have the replicating crawlers. Also distracted their marksmen pretty well. So that was a pretty nice round. It did cost us 200, or like a bunch of investment, but things worked out really well. And now we can go for stormcallers to pressure all their marksmen and their storms. So yeah, I'll get the photon emission, and I'm going to unlock stormcallers. Get 2 of those. And then my stormcallers should be better than their stormcallers. I could even get range so that my storms start shooting theirs immediately. But my storms should be better than theirs because mine will have crawlers to tank for them. I think next round we'll get ranged storms. I'm actually going to place my storms more tightly, and then we'll get ranged storms next round. I could go for a shield, but I'm putting them in more tightly just so I can go for this photon. And then let's just get the defense enhancement. I think that'll be good depending on what my opponent decides to counter with. Alright, they counter with Mustangs and a missile on that side as well. The Mustangs make a lot of sense. My storms are unfortunately not targeting what I want them to right now. So this round didn't go great for us. We need to get the range on the storm so that the first volley hits my opponent's stormcallers. Then I also need to sell my crawlers on the flanks, probably. Here, I'm going to go with just the haste module. Haste module is really good. We can range upgrade our storms and then upgrade them as well. My opponent just has a bunch of Mustangs, so they might go for anti-missile, but the counter to anti-missile is just more stormcallers, which is what we're going to do. These ones I'm actually going to place just a little further forward so that they start shooting my opponent's storms immediately. Haste module I'm not going to use yet. We'll upgrade these arc lights, and then the haste module I'll probably use on a fortress or a Vulcan or something. Oh, I did mean to get field recovery and sell one of these crawler units, so definitely should have done that, but messed up this round. My opponent has gone for range on their Mustangs, but not anti-missile, so our storms should have free reign this round. Next round they'll get anti-missile, and then things will go back to being more even. You need my storms to clear some of their units here, but they should be able to kill the rest of this stuff, I think. Oh, every missile missed that missed that marksman? Alright, well, if they miss every single shot, then we're obviously not going to win. Come on, buddies. Able to land one shot on this guy. There we go. Alright, got in for 50 big damage. Ooh, subsidized crawler, smoke bomb, both really interesting. Before I forget, let me get field recovery and sell this crawler. Then I'll sell the other one next round. My opponent just has all of these Mustangs, which are going to be coming in, so I think our play is going to be to get Vulcans. Subsidized crawler is 50 free cash. Smoke bomb is also really nice. I think I'm going to get smoke bomb. That'll stop a lot of what my opponent is trying to do. If I place it like here, their marksman won't do anything. And then I can get a Vulcan on either side, help clear through their units. I want the Vulcans spaced fairly far back this round because I want their marksman not to target them. And in fact, this Vulcan I'm going to put even further back and then put the haste module on it. I don't have anything I can upgrade for 50, but let's grab a missile on this side and maybe knock down some crawlers before they get in. Oh, I actually should have put the missile on the other side. Alright, my opponent's going to kill one storm unit. Smoke bombs on both sides, that's totally fine. And they do have the anti-missile. But as long as we have enough stuff to tank for our Vulcan, we should be in great shape. Vulcan's going to clear through just about everything. And our opponent has really no tanks. They do have some high damage units in the marksman, but they don't have a lot of stuff that really counters these Vulcans right now. They'll probably go for fortresses, which we could counter with melting points. Fortresses are kind of a natural counter to Vulcans because you can get the shield on them. I think this game might go long, so I'm going to grab top supply. That's very greedy, but all of these fights have been going such that everyone has a ton of units left. Let's upgrade the Vulcan, upgrade the Vulcan. Tempted by the missiles, it will help overwhelm their Mustangs with the anti-missile fire. Another option is just to get fortresses of my own to shield against these marksmen. I think we're going to wait one round on doing something like that, and this round I'm going to spend upgrading units. So let's just get stat upgrades for everything. And I do want to be able to add in a little more chaff, probably, or something else to deal with Mustangs. I think just more chaff is where we want to be in this game, so we'll just replace our crawlers that I sold. Put them further back, and that way they'll hopefully tank some of these marksman shots while the Vulcans clear everything. Then I'm just going to upgrade this unit, and this unit. Smoke is still down for both sides. My opponent's gone for a bunch of shields, which makes a lot of sense, but the shields I'm not too concerned about because we have all these Stormcallers, which are going to break the shields. Acid Crawlers, I don't know if that's the play, really, because they're not going to get to my Vulcans. Although the Overlord, obviously, that worked very well for them, the Overlord summon at the back. And my Storms are now no longer doing enough damage to knock down the shields, so we're definitely losing this round now. Still, we shouldn't lose by too much. Because my Vulcan should clear a lot of this remaining stuff still. So we'll have another couple lives to go, and now I have top supply. My opponent went for a cooldown there. Here I'm going to go with probably the Vulcan summon. My opponent might go for Acid, but I'm going to shield this round, I think. I'm going to go for Photon Blast and a Vulcan summon on the right hand, or on the center. This Vulcan will then clear these crawlers very quickly. Here I also want to make sure I'm getting these shields, but do I want to get those with fortresses? Fortresses could be really good, obviously very good against Mustangs, but bad against the acid crawlers. I think fortresses are still kind of the play here. If we get 2 fortresses, I can get barriers on them, and then I don't have to buy the shields every round. Place my fortresses pretty far forward. I am just going to drop a missile here in addition to that Vulcan to stop the acid from really getting on me, and then I'm going to upgrade this unit of crawlers. I could do a lone as well. I think that's probably worth it. We have top supply specialists, so I want to just make sure I'm not falling too far behind. And then what I'm going to get with that is electromagnetic shots on my arc lights, and that will turn off the acid on the crawlers. Alright, that's a very well-placed acid bomb by my opponent. They've gone for melting points, which makes a ton of sense as well. But melting points do suffer against storm callers. Even with the Mustangs, we should be able to land a few Stormcaller missiles on them. Blow up the melting points, and then we'll see whether my Storms can win this last round on their own. Opponent does not have a lot of ways left to shoot up, so we should be in pretty good shape. A couple level 3 Mustangs I don't think are going to do it against my remaining Phoenixes. Now, the question is, do I want my own melting points? Melting points are the typical response to melting points. Electromagnetic Blast, I think, is going to be really good as well. I can knock down all my opponent's shields. Take out their tech as well. That'll not the blast will knock out their anti-missile fire. The acid does stay on the ground, which is obviously very bad for us. It loses 6% health per second, so it's going to do a lot against my Vulcan. Let's see, do I want a melting point? I probably should get my own melting points. I think my opponent is very likely to just go for more melting points. So I'm going to get those and place them a little further back where they'll hit my opponent's melting points. And then I should probably get range on my Vulcans, and that will help them clear through all this stuff on my opponents. I could sell this Vulcan or like these crawlers. I'm going to actually sell these crawlers for a shield in the front. Those crawlers are just dying this round, so there's no point in doing anything with those. Get that, and I will get this attack enhancement upgrade. Drop a missile here on these crawlers as well. And then, what else do I want? I guess just another missile. Put another missile on this flank. So REM went off, theirs broke all our shields, but didn't stop us from... didn't actually hit all our units. So that's pretty good for us. This Vulcan still clearing through a lot of stuff. The acid is gone next round. Our one melting point died. Our other one is not targeted onto theirs. I need this unit to die, and then our melting point will target theirs. They have ranged melting points, though, so that's a real problem for us. These super high-level Mustangs are doing a ton as well. Oh, just needed one more shot. Alright, not quite, but I don't think we're dead. So now I can get ranged melting points. The acid is gone now, so now I have a Vulcan on the left side again. Let's get super heavy armor. Upgrade range on my melting points. Still placing this missile. They have a smoke bomb, so I'm going to be placing shields in the front here. Try to block the smoke bomb. Then I want to upgrade this. I want to get health on the melting point. I want to buy a third melting point. Place it in the center here, where it can ideally target my opponent's melting points. Drop my smoke bomb, like right here. That will stop their melting point from shooting. I need it just slightly further back. There we go. I guess I'd better try to place it on top of their storms. They might shield that, but there's not a lot we can do about that. Then I could go for more storms, more crawlers to try to distract their melting points. More crawlers honestly seem pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to get one more unit of crawlers and just put it like right here, where it can try to distract my opponent's melting points. I will leave this back unit of crawlers alive for now, and I will get some upgrades on my units. Alright, this is going to be a very close one. Opponent has the level 3 melting point. That melting point is targeting my Vulcan, which is obviously terrible for me. Yeah, they have enough chaff here, and my Vulcans aren't long range enough. We're losing this one for sure. Oh, okay. Well, the smoke bomb is doing a ton of work here. It means that my melting points targeted theirs early. Their level 2 melting point's going to beat my level 1 melting point on the right flank. We do still have some storms up. Have to see what the MPs target. This one targeted the wrong thing. This one's sitting in acid now. Why are they longer range than mine? Do they have range specialists or something? Why is their melting point longer range than my melting point? Alright, but my Stormcallers knocked it out, so that's great. And the Smoke Bomb is still down for next round. I'm going to need, I think, just Attack Specialists, try to clear through their stuff. I have to level my melting points. Also should get this Electromagnetic Barrage, I think. I could get Incendiary Bomb on my Vulcans. I don't think we want that. I probably just want to... Well, I want missiles to clear these again. Let's upgrade those so they tank a little longer. Opponent's going to have an Overlord summon, but we're just going with more and more melting points, because that's kind of what we've got at this point. And then I'm going to put another one on the widely spaced flank to aggro to theirs. Can I do it so that it aggroes? Yeah, so that aggro should be good for us. Still need to place another shield. Level this up. Level my melting point. And then go in with another missile in the front. Try to knock down their crawlers, maybe. Alright, and then I think that's what we've got. Let's see how it goes. Alright, they've gone for a smoke bomb here, so that's going to block my melting points if they walk up too far. This aggro should still work out for us, I think. Nope, their melting point decided to change which way it was going. We do have the electromagnetic bombs, though, so that's pretty good for us. Because that knocked down their That knocks down a lot of their stuff. This Overlord just, like, one-tapped my building, though. All my units went up too far. But we just have such a huge advantage. At this point, I don't think the Overlord is going to be enough. The electromagnetic bombs on my melting points were the key to this one. They do have one level 4 melting point with lifesteal. They surrender without giving it a chance to see if it could make it. I actually think that lifesteal melting point might have done it, but we do have the electromagnetic bombs that knock out the lifesteal. Jumping in for the next round. I think this might be the same opponent. I have names turned off, obviously, in case my opponents have something offensive in their names. Fang Phoenix, not my favorite, but I like Supply Specialist so much. Alright, Crawler Mustang obviously counters Fang Phoenix perfectly. I feel like basically any start with Fangs, you lose round 1 like 50% of like 80% of the time. Fangs are just so bad at basically every other unit, at fighting basically every other unit. I will get Arclights to try to mitigate the disaster that's already happening here, but we'll see how that goes. My opponent, I assume, is getting Marksman or something. Nope, just more Crawlers. Alright, well, our 2 Arclights maybe should help with that. Lots of heavy flanking deployments today. I think a lot of people are experimenting with that. They killed the Arclight. Yeah, we're just not going to have enough stuff to tank for this Arclight, and so the Mustangs are going to finish it off. Also, our building is dying. I don't know, Fangs just contribute nothing round 1. It's so frustrating to start with them. Alright, my opponent is also Speed Specialist, which obviously is good against some of what we have as well. Rhino Assault could be very good here, as could Mass Produce Rhino. Counters both of what my opponent has. If I were to go Mass Produce Rhino and Whirlwind, that could be pretty sweet. Honestly, let's go with that. Just get 2 Rhinos, place them right up against these Crawlers right away. I could get Whirlwind or Mechanical Rage to start, but I actually think that we're going to be better off going with Mass Recruitment and another Arclight. And then I have 100, but I don't think there's anything that we want right away. Arclight Armor could be very good as well against their stuff, but I assume they're getting Marksman or something this next round. Alright, they've just gone for a Missile and more Mustangs. Well, our Rhinos are going to do well against that. Though each Rhino didn't do a ton this round, and our Arclights died really quickly. Alright, well, definitely could be better for us. I think... Yeah, no, they're gonna win now. We don't quite one-shot a Mustang. That's going to get them leveled Mustangs. Alright, so at this point, I could get Heavy Arclights, I could get Haste Module. I think I'm going to get Haste Module. I'm going to get Photon Coating for my rhinos. Buy 2 more rhinos. Put haste module on the left flank rhino. Upgrade some arc lights. Mass recruit, get more arc lights. Clear my opponent has a plan, so we're going to go with our plan to match up against their plan. Photon coating should be very good. Obviously, it'll keep my rhinos alive and they'll tank a little longer. Normally you want to go straight for level 2 rhinos, but because we have mass-produced rhinos, the fact that they can just tank for so long is a big part of their appeal. For so long and for so cheaply. Opponent has gone for some flanks, but we're clearing these crawlers. Their flanking units didn't quite make it in time, and we can put down a rhino or something at the back to block the flankers. Important to actually pay attention to when your opponent flanks. I sometimes don't notice and then get crushed as a result. Let's get some levels on our arc lights. Alright, need to buy, let's see. Incendiary would be pretty good. Heavy arc light. Heavy armor. I think I'm just going to get heavy armor and stick it on a rhino. Do this, this rhino. Upgrade this. Could just backline some more rhinos. Yep, seems good to me. Just backline a couple rhinos against their crawlers. I could then get whirlwind or field maintenance on my rhinos, but I don't actually think we need that, and my opponent is eventually going to get something that takes out these rhinos. They've gone for melting points, so I probably want to grab melting points of my own next round. It's the typical counter to those. Range on my arc lights could be good, or charge shot. Range on my phoenixes could also be good. Let's start with ranged arc lights, I think. And then I might get shielded phoenixes. No, that'll be bad against their melting points, which they're definitely getting next round. So I'm going to save money. Wait and see what my opponent does. Yeah, so they've gone for a melting point over here. Against that, the strategy is going to be to just get my own melting points, probably. They've gone for leveled melting points as well. Their melting points are higher HP and higher movement, but lower range, so my melting point would be pretty good against theirs, typically. This guy being level 2 is obviously means it takes forever to die, but that's okay. I don't have the explosive, the Rhino Explosion, unfortunately, because that's what we would really want. Let's get Smoke Bomb. Then I'm going to unlock my own melting points. Put these behind the fangs where they will aggro to the melting point eventually, but I don't want them aggroing too early. Upgrade my arc lights to clear through all this chaff faster. Opponent's gone for another melting point. Makes total sense. Goal here is just to clear through all their chaff quickly and then have my melting point target theirs. Right now it's on their shield. Now I could add in Vulcans to clear chaff. Although we're not really having a ton of trouble with that right now. Ooh, heavy hacker existing is really bad for me, because that could start taking over rhinos. Let's get amplifying core. Stick it on a melting point. EM barrage on the melting points could be really good as well. Definitely leveling my 2 melting points. So what I'm worried about is them just hacking my rhinos. I think we have enough chaff, especially when I upgrade these fangs so they'll tank a little longer, that we should be able to target their stuff. I'm going to get range on the melting points. That will help as well. And then grab another arc light to clear through a bunch of their chaff quicker. Level these arc lights on the right. Let's see what they go for. Alright, opponent has gone for... They didn't get heavy hackers. Actually, not certain what they bought this round. Wonder if my opponent had the same disconnect I had. Looks like they maybe just went for more chaff. Oh, they went for a flanking melting point. Okay. I just totally didn't see that. And they went for lifesteal on their melting points. Well, it's going to tank for a while, but we still have this one and a ton of chaff. So I think we should still be good. Yeah, so it's got the repair kit and the lifesteal. So it's going to stay alive basically forever as long as it's targeting something with high health. But it won't target our melting point, and our melting point is also level 2 and should start stacking up damage on it to a tremendous degree while it's stuck targeting fangs. Given that my opponent's at 90 health, that should do it. Might hit 6,000 today, depending on how late I go. Alright, cost control with Crawler, Stormcaller. Love it. Those are both 2 units that I really want, and it's the best specialist. No way to shoot up, but we can add in some marksman or something. Opponent has marksman sledge, which Stormcallers should be very good against, as should Crawlers. Just going to go with a sort of default placement here. And then I am going to add in a couple marksmen. This is both in case my opponent decides they want to do something silly, like go for round 1 wasps to try to cheese me out. And also just because it's good against what they have. Yeah, and they're quick supply, so they could do something. They could go with a bunch of interesting plays. Alright, they've gone for just a bunch of marksmen, and they've also gone for a missile, which is going to take out my storms here. So great missile by them. They're going to win round 1 off of that. It does cost them 50 of their bonus 200. Or they've gone for crawlers, not marksmen. But they started with the marksmen. We'll hopefully knock down enough stuff that we don't take a ton of damage or feed them too much XP. I'm worried about these sledges leveling up, but it looks like nothing will level round 1. Now they've kind of blown their quick supply specialists boost, so we should be in okay shape. Senior manufacturing could be good later. Nothing else here is particularly good. It's going to be a while before we get giants, so I think I'm going to skip. I like heavy armor as well, but I think skip just gives us the best options in this round. Probably just go for some more marksmen. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to unlock arc lights to clear through their crawlers. That should stop our storms from shooting the wrong things. Then I'm going to get 2 arc lights and do mass recruitment by a marksman. Place these arc lights kind of wide, like so that they'll target the crawlers as the crawlers advance. Put the marksman in the center. And then I will just get 2 shields, I think. They've shown a willingness to use missiles. And if I place the shields a little forward, they'll stop my opponent's stuff from breaking mine. Yep, we did break this missile. Have a couple marksmen targeting this rhino, which could be bad for us or could be good. They've also gone for the health upgrade on the rhino. Looks like we should have just enough damage to go through it before all our crawlers die. Oh, no, not quite. All right. Well, that regenerating rhino was really good for them. We needed 1 more crawler to survive. They also went with a crawler flank. But we'll block that with an arc light. And I'll probably just add in more marksmen. See if this rhino levels. I hope it doesn't. If the rhino doesn't level, then we should be able to kill it with just marksmen. Both our shields survived, which is useful. Ooh, improved melting point is also one way to kill this rhino. So, how did their crawlers beat my crawlers, even though mine are aggro to them? I'm a little confused by that. I guess some of them got split off by the sledges. Alright, given that their rhino is going to come up, I could go for EM shots on my... electromagnetic shots on my arc lights. That would disable the rhino's regeneration, although they might go for photon coating on their rhino. I think I will actually just get improved melting point. It's pretty good against everything they have. And then I'll do alone this round. Grab the melting point to fight their rhino. And then with this lone, I'm going to get an arc light for the flank. Might do an arc light on the other flank, or mass recruitment and another marksman. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, they've gone for a second rhino, but this is just a normal level 1 rhino without the regeneration. So that won't be nearly as scary. Once we clear this chaff, the melting point should aggro to their rhino and kill it. They did get a lot of crawlers in on the sides there. So, need more arc lights or just a Vulcan to clear through their chaff. If I get Vulcans, I think it's going to be hard for them to win this fight. Because we already have the melting point. Kind of wishing I'd went the cheaper giants. Alright, well, right now I'm going to get Vulcan's Descent, I think. So their crawlers came in this side and cleared my crawlers, which obviously is a problem for me. I did a loan last round, so I can't get another... Let's place this Vulcan over here. I can't get another melting point, at least not without doing another loan, which I don't want to do 2 loans in a row. What we're going to do to take out these rhinos is probably just more marksmen. Get range on my marksmen next round. And then I can go with a missile, I could go with more shields. I could also go with replicating crawlers or something like that, or mechanical rage crawlers. I think I actually like mechanical rage crawlers. Oh, actually, let's get this electromagnetic shot. It's going to be pretty useful against my opponent's Rhino. Also good against these steel balls. Steel balls I don't think are a great decision here. My opponent went for defense specialist, makes sense. I just wanted to guarantee winning this round with the Vulcan. They did finally take out this shield, which is unfortunate for us. That shield lasted for a long time. Didn't quite knock them out in one go, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. Here, I could get Orbital Javelin, I could get Top Supply, in case the game goes long. I think it's still a little late for Top Supply, so let's just get the Orbital Javelin. Use it to try to drop these 2 units by placing it there. Upgrade some arc lights and some marksmen. Gonna upgrade these crawlers so they help clear my opponent's crawlers a little faster. We're getting some crawler fights on the side here. And then, what else do I want? I could add in a second melting point. I think my opponent's likely to go for a melting point, so I think I will just add in a second melting point on this side and do another loan to get 2 shields. I'll get ranged melting points next round. And then one more unit of... just one more marksman. One more marksman I think is going to do well. We can get shooting squad next round if they're just getting killed by all the fangs. Yeah, so they do have the tungsten rod, which clears out my melting point, but that's why we have a second one. All their stuff is getting EM shotted by my arc lights, which is great for us. That marksman on the side did nothing. So the tungsten rod did very well for them here. Looks like they're going to kill this building in time for this fight to go in their favor. We just have the one melting point that's obviously not going to do it. Alright. Tank production line, kind of interesting for one of my melting points. Photon emission would also be really good. They might go photon emission themselves. I think I'm going to get tank production line, stick that on a melting point. Just let that go. Get range on these melting points. Upgrade this so it clears chaff on the side a little better. Then, let's see, what I want is to make sure that my stuff is clearing through their crawlers quickly. So, honestly, just a missile here, I think is the best bet. That's going to knock down the crawlers. I could get 2 shields, or I could just get some more arc lights. I think more arc lights are going to be good. We'll put an arc light here, arc light here. This way, my melting points should hopefully aggro to high-value targets a little faster because we killed the crawlers. Now my opponent has a bunch of crawlers, but we do have enough chaff clearing. I think we're still in good shape. This fight's really going to come down to whether our melting point targets theirs before theirs targets ours, I think. Their storms are doing a ton of work, though. Yeah, looks like we're going to lose this one. Their melting point's going to get the first beam. We are making these sledges. Okay, no, our melting point got the first beam. And the fact that it's making sledges is good, but we do lose the building, and now they've got these storms that are taking us out. Well, that's not great. So I need to deal with these storms somehow. Smoke bomb is a perfect way to deal with the storms. As would be electromagnetic. Do they have ranged storms? Which is part of the reason they're working so well. So electromagnetic, I think, is going to be better than smoke bomb here, because that will knock down their storm's range while also doing other stuff. Then I can get maybe just elite marksman or ranged marksman. I think elite is going to be better. We have enough leveled guys. Level this melting point. I do want shields as well, so let's do that. Try to make sure that we're not getting smoke bombed out of the game. Alright, now I need more stuff to clear through their sledges, so that's probably just more melting points. So what's happening right now is that all my marksmen and stuff are getting targeted on the wrong things. My marksmen and arclights are targeting, respectively, the wrong things. I will do another missile here as well. Grab this. Grab both of these upgrades. That should help keep us alive a little longer. And then another marksman, I think, is going to be the way to go. Or I could go for a crawler, like a flanking crawler, actually, on the right-hand side. Oh, just ran out of time. Alright, so we did knock down their the range on their storms, so that should help a little bit. Blowing up a bunch of stuff, but don't have quite enough to clear through all their crawler chaff. Their sledges are tanking very well. Yeah, it looks like we're losing this one as well. Their storms are just too good. I guess I need to flank with phoenixes, maybe? What if I flank with overlords, if we live? Which I don't think we will. Oh, 10 health. Okay. Alright, we can do this. Alright, the ion beam. That should do quite a lot of work. Let's knock down all their storms if we can. Then, I'm going to grab a Vulcan. My Vulcan I want to be clearing chaff in the middle here. Upgrade this. I could just go Mustangs with anti-missiles as well, just to give us a little bit of protection from the Stormcaller fire. Flank with Wasps or Overlords could be good. They've got one melting point and probably a second to deal with Overlords. Yeah, I don't think just buying 2 Overlords kind of at random is going to be the way to go. I am going to get Shooting Squad. That will help clear through chaff and also stop these steel balls from being too bad for us. And then you get another Arclight to turn off the steel ball. Side. Game is going to end this round no matter what, so obviously we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing this. to get more Stormcallers of my own. I could get more Crawlers of my own. I'm going to do this Missile again, of course. Get a Crawler and flank with it. Try to distract their storms. And then the last thing that we're buying is Launcher Overload on my storms. Do get to take out all of their storms with this Ion Beam, so that's good. Clearing through a lot of chaff. Their crawlers were all distracted, but they do have a melting point on this side. Yeah, I don't think we're clearing their chaff quickly enough. I tried to disable all their tech with my arc lights, but that just didn't work this game. Great, well played by my opponent. Really not sure what the play was there. I think I just needed to counter their storms with Mustangs or something earlier. Their Stormcallers just got to completely run rampant over my whole side. Okay. Rhino Specialist with Crawler Phoenix. These are some of my least favorite specialists overall. Yeah, I think we're going to go with the Rhino Specialist. Rhino Specialist is at least basically a quick supply specialist with a 2-turn delay, at worst. Alright, my opponent's got these Stormcallers. And Fangs, very good against what we have. My options to oppose this are probably Stormcallers next turn. For now, I need something that clears through their Fangs, so I guess that would be Arclights, but Arclights are pretty bad against what they have. So maybe I just go more Crawlers. Yeah, I mean, Arclights and Marksmen, neither of those seem good, so I think we're just going to go with more Crawlers, and I'm going to place them on the wide flanks here, where they can kind of pressure my opponent's storms, ideally. Alright, they've gone for level 2 Mustangs, because they're elite specialists. Obviously, the Mustangs are going to destroy my Phoenixes. My opponents place their storms in columns, because they expect that my units will be in columns. They just wiped my side-flanking crawlers instantly, so those were completely useless. Yep, this one's rough. This unit matchup is really bad. Really not certain what we could have done to get out of that. Arclights would just die to the Stormcaller fire. Maybe we were supposed to go for a flank overload. Alright, here I'm going to go with the Missile Strike. Just knock down one of their Storm units, maybe, or their Mustang unit. And I think the play here is going to be Stormcallers of my own, but we don't have enough money for that yet, so I could get Mustangs. Try to have my Mustangs clear through their Fangs. Don't have enough money to unlock Mustangs and buy 2 as well. So I think we'll go with Arclights. And at least place those where they're going to help fight the Fangs. Try to get those so that the Stormcallers are not aggroed to them. Yep, that's totally fine. And then I could go with underground movement or something. Let's go with mechanical rage on my crawlers. That will maybe get them in a little better. I should have used my missile, but I actually don't hate saving it. I think we're still just, like, losing this round, whether we use it or not. Mechanical rage does help a lot here. It means that my crawlers avoid their stormfire. Get in on their units a little faster. The fact that their Mustangs are level 2 means that my Arclights don't even one-shot them. But, alright, we actually won that round. Mechanical Rage worked out really well. And we saved the missile. So that's great. My opponent will be able to counter those crawlers. I had assumed we were losing if my opponent, like, just put an Arclight on each side. But right now, they haven't done that. Don't want Heavy Overlord. Underground Threat could be good. Speed Specialist could also be good. That might take my opponent by surprise. I think we're going to want Underground Threat. That will be the best use of these units. I'm going to put them back here where the Mustangs won't aggro to them. It's really irritating how sometimes Underground Threat doesn't let you select the back right corner. Alright, then I could go with Stormcallers. I could go with more Arclights. I could go with Mustangs to eventually counter my opponent's Stormcallers. I think we're going to go with Stormcallers. They're just very good against Fangs. They're very good against Stormcallers, obviously. We can clear through what my opponent has very quickly. And then I will upgrade both of these Storm units, and I am going to use... I'm going to save the missile again. We'll use Underground Threat as our cooldown for this round. Oh, I totally forgot my Rhino. But just have this level 3 Rhino just sitting there. Alright, and I have no way to shoot up other than my Phoenixes. Although we do blow up their building. So we actually do kill their stuff, their Underground Threat, or is this just... are these real crawlers? I think these are real crawlers, because they came out late. No, it must be an Underground Threat that fought my crawlers. I should pay attention to what's happening in my backlines. Yeah, it was, okay. Let's go with Amplifying Core. Use a missile to knock down their Phoenixes and Stormcallers. Continue to level these. I do wish I had placed this Rhino a little better. So my opponent has all these Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes are not necessarily going to do anything, because we've got so many crawlers on the field, they need to find a way to clear those. They might go Vulcans. What we're going to do is go probably just more Phoenixes for ourselves. Our opponent still needs to find a ways to clear chaff, so more Phoenixes I think is going to be really good for us. That'll counter their Phoenixes pretty well. Alright, they do have Wasp Swarm. Wasp Swarm will be very good against us and probably win them this round, but they've gone for Field Recovery and recovered one of their front Fang units, it looks like. Yeah. So they're moving all their units back. They went Wasp Swarm. The Wasp Swarm is going to win them this round for sure. We just don't have enough anti-air. We do blow up one of their Phoenix units. Or no, did they move their Phoenix? It's okay to lose this round to their cooldown, though. We didn't use a cooldown, and we're able to buy a bunch of extra Phoenixes. Next round I can get range on those. And we only lost this round by just a little bit. Definitely grabbing subsidized Mustang. I think Mustangs are going to be good against like a lot of what my opponent has. Obviously not their Mustangs, but everything else. I could get replicating crawlers. My opponent still isn't really answering these crawlers. I do want to level my Phoenixes. I think replicating crawlers is actually going to be kind of hard for them to deal with. And then, like, it'll force them to get chaff clearing, and that will let my Phoenixes continue to do well. And let's get range on our Phoenixes. And then, do I want to backline some crawlers? I could also just frontline some crawlers. Or get, like, a couple marksmen to kill their Phoenixes. Yeah, so they've actually sold a bunch of stuff and moved it. This amplifying core, we're going to stick... I could just stick it on the Rhino, keep that alive. Yeah, let's just do that. Even though the Rhino's not placed exactly where I want it, it's coming in late and doing a decent amount of damage. And then I am just going to get 2 more units of crawlers. I've upgraded them significantly, so that should give us a little bit of bonus against what my opponent has. Getting Mustangs next round. Alright, they've gone for a missile, that's totally fine. My crawlers are going to come in and start replicating. Oh wow, their Mustangs cleared those instantly. I didn't expect that level 2 Mustang to beat a level 2 Mechanical Rage and upgrade crawler so quickly. Alright, and they've gone for another backline. Cooldown usage. Okay, so my crawlers did not perform well that round. They did use 2 cooldowns, but they have a lot of cooldowns. Here, I'm going to grab... Honestly, not certain what the best thing to grab here is. Maybe the tungsten rod? Take out these 2 units. Then, yeah, I would have to get, like, Subterranean Blitz as well to make my crawlers good. So that's a real problem. I could just sell some crawler units. Get some upgrades for sure. I've got range on my Phoenixes, but that's not enough by itself. I think we want Mustangs. I did buy subsidized Mustangs, and I'll get the anti-missile on those. They won't help, obviously, defeat my opponent's Mustangs, but 3 units of these will stop their storms from doing basically anything. It's not looking great, though. Oh, they went with the Phoenixes regenerate, too. And the Vulcan drop. Looks like my storms will kill the Vulcan. And because we are now blocking their missiles, things are a little better for us. Our Phoenixes are winning the Phoenix duel in the air. I don't know if the Phoenixes regenerate, like the regenerating cockpit Phoenixes are actually particularly good in this game. They're not, it doesn't do much against other Phoenixes, which is their main thing. Alright, my opponent has Underground Threat. That's not a huge threat against all our crawlers. But our Underground Threat is a pretty big threat against their stuff. They could go for Vulcans. They could go for Fortresses with the anti-air. Definitely upgrade my Phoenixes after getting this. I could go for super heavy armor. I think we're actually skipping upgrading all my Phoenixes. I could get shield on the Phoenixes. The question is, will that be enough to fight all their stuff if they get like Fortresses, for example? I will go for a missile right here. Try to knock down their Mustangs in the center, and then Underground Threat could just place it in the center and try to distract all their phoenixes as well. That seems pretty good. And then for what I'm buying, I think, want one more unit of storms in the center here to take out these fangs. I also probably want a couple shields in case they go for missiles on my storms. And then I'm going to buy 2 more units of phoenixes to win in the air, which we need mass recruitment for. Running out of time again. Underground threat doing very well at the back here. It's distracting a lot of their stuff. Their incendiary bombs on the Stormcallers are going to be a real problem, though. But I think we just have too many phoenixes for them to fight. This Rhino, actually, the Rhino coming in late, you don't see that often, but it's actually doing a lot. I'm gonna save that replay because I kind of want to cast the game with the Forgotten Rhino. Alright, I think I have time for one more. Alright, we got cost control with Fang Phoenix. I've talked extensively about how much I hate starting with Fangs, but I do like cost control, and those other specialists I think are worse. Alright, well, they have no way to shoot up currently, so I expect to see marksmen out of my opponent. I think we're going to go for marksmen ourselves. My opponent is quick supply, so they could go for like a leveled unit or a bunch of missiles or something early. I could go for a shield or missiles myself. I think I'd rather save this and react to what their unit comp is. Yeah, they have indeed gone for marksman. So us buying 2 marksmen and having all these phoenixes, I think, should still be pretty good. They have all this stuff that dies in one shot to marksman, and we have fangs to tank. Alright, they did go for mass recruitment and a 3rd marksman. That might tip the game in their favor, but it does mean they spent 50 credits on it. They've gone for a pretty heavy flank overload and a missile, okay. Well, they'll definitely knock down 1 Fang unit, but that Fang unit was dying to the marksman anyways. Oh, unfortunately, that's going to get all my air units, or I thought it would get all my air units. Didn't quite manage to get all my air units as well. We will kill the building, but I don't think we're going to have the damage to get through all their stuff before their marksmen kill my last few phoenixes. Although their marksmen, some of them are aggroing to the fangs. Yeah, the fangs were just far enough forward. I think we're in okay shape. Nice. Alright, well, so then my opponent went mass recruitment and a missile round 1. And we still won, so that's great. Missile strike could be good. So could shield specialist. Any of these, honestly, is pretty nice. I think I like shield specialist, although against steel balls it's not as good. I think we'll just grab missile strike. Drop it, like, right here. Try to take out some marksmen. Then Against what my opponent has, they're probably going to go for some kind of chaff, but until they do, I feel like I should just grab more marksmen. I could get my marksman range upgraded, I could get my phoenix's range upgraded, I could get my fangs shield upgraded. I think range upgraded marksman is going to be the way to go. And then I will drop one shield on this side in case of a missile, and also just to try to win this fight. Alright, so they did missile this side again, but we blocked their missile on this side and took out a bunch of their stuff. Range upgraded marksmen are obviously going to be a huge advantage for us. Opponent has again spent fairly heavily. We both used a cooldown, but they also used a sentry missile. And I don't believe they're going to kill our shield. I don't care about losing Fang range, because I actually just want my Fangs to tank. And I probably will go with shields on the Fangs later on in the game. Let's level this and level this first. I probably want ranged Phoenixes as well. I am in fact going to go with Fang shields and Fang movement speed. That way they'll tank a lot more of these shots. And then grab these grab another marksman just for this side. I could go with a missile, but I'm going to save. Only bought one unit that round, which obviously isn't great, but... Alright, so my opponent has countered what we've done with these Stormcallers. The Stormcallers are really nice against the Fang shields, because obviously they still just die to a single volley, usually. Their marksmen are spending a lot of time shooting my Fangs, though. So the question again is going to be, do they have enough stuff to kill my air units before I kill all their anti-air? I think the answer is going to be no, because we have these level 2 Phoenixes, which tanks a second shot each. And because I have range upgraded marksmen, and the range upgrade on my marksman is giving us just a huge edge in this duel. Let's look at what they've got. So they'll probably range upgrade their marksmen. They've got storms. I could go with a tank production line. That could be pretty fun, although there aren't that many giants that I want against their storms. I could just go with junior manufacturing specialists. That will make up its money in a couple turns. Or electromagnetic blast. I think I'll go with junior manufacturing. I'm going to buy more small units, at least for the next couple rounds. Let's upgrade these, upgrade this, upgrade this. I could just go with crawlers in the front here. I think I will do that to try to distract their storms. Let's place these like right up here and give them the mechanical rage so that they get in a little faster. My opponent might missile them, but that would be okay. Then I'm going to... Come on. Then... Oh. I placed those. Let me select this. There we go. Mass recruitment. I could get more marksmen. I could get more phoenixes. I think more phoenixes is going to be the way to go here. My opponent still hasn't shown a ton of stuff that deals with that. And then let's grab another shield on this side just to help against the Stormcaller fire. Alright, they did go for the electromagnetic blast, and they've gone for a ton of crawlers. So the crawlers are obviously going to be really good against all my phoenixes. We're probably losing this round. EM Blast cleared my crawlers, and then their crawlers are... EM Blast slowed my crawlers, so the Stormcallers cleared them. And then their crawlers are tanking all my stuff. It's closer than I thought it would be, though. But my opponent used a pretty big cooldown, and we bought an econ upgrade that round, so not feeling terrible about that. Let's go with the smoke bomb here. Gonna missile these Stormcallers and force my opponent to use a shield there. And I'm gonna smoke bomb just right up here. No, that smoke bomb won't do a ton. Alright, let's get Arc Lights to clear my opponent's crawlers on the flanks here. I'm going to get those the charge shot so that they kill level 2 crawlers in one shot. Then I'm going to get mass recruitment and buy another crawler unit as well, just to so that can tank their marksman shots. My crawlers, I'm going to get... I could get Replicate, or I could get Mechanical, or Subterranean Blitz on them. Let's get Subterranean Blitz. I think that'll be pretty nice. And then I will still put down... I'm going to save the Smoke Bomb, actually, because I think my opponent might place more shields. And there's not a ton of stuff that's great to Smoke Bomb over here. Alright, their shield drop is going to block my missile, so great shield drop by them. Also a great shield by them over here. That's going to stop my Arc Lights from doing anything. At least initially. But my crawlers are now pretty tanky. What killed my Phoenixes over there? Alright. Things definitely going poorly on this right-hand flank. I need more stuff to clear their crawlers. Yeah, and my crawlers are just dying immediately. They have too many Arc Lights. I shouldn't have invested so heavily in crawlers. Bad play by me. I feel like we had a solid advantage in this game, and I threw it by just, like, not just, like, getting Stormcallers and playing a normal game. I kind of went all in on this crawler stuff. Alright, how can we turn this around? Well, I think it's going to start with an Incendiary Bomb. I will level my crawlers here. My opponent's flanking crawlers have... Yeah, so my opponent's crawlers have Replicate, and mine don't, so they're winning the crawler fights. I now need to get some Arc Lights on this flank. And over here. I will place this Smoke Bomb like so, I think, and the Incendiary I'm going to have to save because my opponent's been shielding every round. And then I'll upgrade this. I could get Shooting Squad on my Marksman. That might help clear through their stuff a little faster. The big problem is just their Stormcallers, so I just need to do something about those. I think I'm going to drop an Incendiary Bomb back here. Place a couple shields to stop their storms from just wiping my stuff out. And then I'll get Mass Recruitment. I could just get more Phoenixes. I could get more Marksmen. I think more Phoenixes is going to be pretty good. I want them not to aggro to my opponent's crawlers, but actually having them come in late isn't terrible. And let's get the shield upgrade on my Phoenixes. I'll get a missile on this flank as well, just to help clear that. Alright, yeah, so that Incendiary is going to do some, but not a ton of work. My Incendiary did almost nothing. How did they kill my Arc Light so fast? Yeah, their replicating crawlers are just destroying me because they're just feeding off of my crawlers. And none of my units are doing anything. I guess I need Vulcans? I'm really not sure what I can go this this game. Like, I'm not seeing any of my units hit their units. Yeah, so on this side they've got steel balls, which is what's doing that there. I think I need to go parasitic ammo Vulcans and sort of hope for the best off of that. And then I don't really have any anti-air capability. I probably should get Replicate on my crawlers as well. Then my crawlers can fight theirs a little better. I could elite recruit some higher rank crawlers on this side, try to win this crawler flank. I need one of these. Let's get range and move speed. And then neither of us have any cooldowns, so that part's okay. I will get a shield here in case just to try to keep my Vulcan alive a little longer. They have enough arc lights, though, that my crawlers still aren't surviving. Yeah, them having the positioning to place a steel ball there is really nice. Oh, they're going with, like, quadruple missile. I don't know how they knew there were going to be crawlers there. Alright, we are now making a bunch of crawlers with our Vulcan. So that part's pretty good. This flank not going so hot, but the flank we put a Vulcan on is going pretty well. I've got all these crawlers coming in and making more crawlers. Alright, coming back. Parasitic ammo worked out well for us there. Just made, like, infinite crawlers and sent them at my opponent. What if I flank with more crawlers? Will that get their arc light taken out? Like, I could go with Strike Specialist. I think Skill Specialist gets them a cooldown, but doesn't get me a cooldown. That's pretty bad for me. I have to upgrade this, or their crawlers will be able to survive it. They don't really have anything to deal with crawler flanks on the left side, so let's actually go with Strike Specialist. And I'm going to put in a... Oh, I should have gone with level 2s there. Alright, that might be a problem. Let's go Elite and Mass Recruitment. Let's see. I think I will still do a level 2 Spec crawler on this side. Upgrade these crawlers, upgrade this arc light. I'll drop a missile on top of their storm crawlers, although they'll probably shield. I need to shield here. I need to upgrade all my stuff. I wonder if ranged fangs is the way to go. I think just upgrading all my stuff, and then they could get Vulcans. I should probably just get some more marksmen or more phoenixes to deal with that. I guess we'll get another unit of phoenixes. Take out this loan, get this and this, and then buy a missile as well. Put the missile in the center. Alright, they've gone for just 1,000,000 Vulcans. Makes sense. My backline crawlers might be good enough, though. Like, these ones are still clearing through a lot of my opponent's stuff. Wait, how are we losing that fight? My level 1 crawlers against their... Or, like, my Mechanical Rage crawlers against their non-Mechanical Rage crawlers? I think we have enough Phoenixes, though, that we're still winning this one. They just went for a ton of Vulcans, and we have so many Phoenixes. Our Phoenixes have shield against that, so do we kill them? Yes. Nice! Alright, that was a great game. Alright, I think that's going to do it. Managed to get a better stream in after the technical difficulties with the first one. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and of course, leave comments, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Catch you guys next time. Cheers, folks. GG.